welcome everybody to Fat Guys on a Little Podcast. I am, of course, your host, Steve, joined by...
Charles is here.
And, of course, live from Illinois for this month and next month and probably for months.
Yeah, so at the rate we're going.
We may be on lockdown for 17
Till September, BB's officially a new co-host.
Mr. Lockout, so, the captain of backgrounds.
Oh.
I still can't get backgrounds on my Skype. I don't know. BV's got a special edition. I don't know what he's doing over there. he called up Bill Gates like, I need backgrounds.
He's an influencer, so he got it.
Bill's got pull we weren't aware of. So this is your Memorial Day weekend episode here. And any big plans for any of us? Anyone going to the beaches? Anyone going fishing? Barbecuing?
I'm going to barbecue. Yeah, we barbecued today already. I grilled, rather. I didn't, you know what I mean? So we'll definitely keep grilling, but I don't know.
Bill, are you going to have some kale?
Negative on the kale.
Man.
Well, nothing special planned.
Someone needs to eat kale tomorrow, just so you know.
I'll pass.
So,
I'll leave that up to BB.
So that leads us into, Michelle kind of mentioned this to me. She read it. I don't know where. I didn't put the link down. But so all the beaches are now starting to open up, except for parts of Michigan. We'll talk about that in a minute. But a lot of the bathrooms, the public bathrooms, I don't know if you're aware of this, since they don't have the auto sensors and stuff in the bathrooms, for the faucets and stuff, that they're closing the bathrooms on these beaches. And I guess they're just wheeling in porta-johns or whatever. So my question to you guys, where is everyone pissing? Not everyone's pissing in those porta-johns or at these beaches. And these beaches are packed. I've been seeing these videos. Have you seen them? The one in New Jersey, it looks like there was never a coronavirus. There's some in New Jersey. They're
because people are freaking sick of it, dude. I mean, we're going to get into it, but dude.
Everyone's over it.
I don't know, man. I'm willing to kill a couple grandmas at this point. I'm kind of over. I'm willing to sacrifice a couple.
So are you going to a beach if it doesn't have you just have to go into a porta potty?
No, I'm still not going to a beach. I know BV's working on his beach body, but I'm not. I don't like beach. Beaches are filthy places short of coronavirus. So I don't dig beaches.
Well, Bill's got a natural river through his backyard, so he doesn't need
tubby, pasty white, can't swim, no beach.
No beach for you. My daughter's dying for it. I had to go buy her today. We bought some tank tops for her because she thinks she's going to get sun. And she's like
a ginger, a pale ginger.
She looks like an open thing of Pillsbury biscuits, but she thinks she's going to get tan. I was like, we can't put you in a toaster oven, right? I mean, but, good luck to her. She's playing tennis right now. So that's the beaches. Now, also this week we're going to do some more coronavirus and stuff like that.
Not me. I'm done. I'm done reporting on it. I'm done with everything.
So this week, our president admitted that he takes how do you say that? Hydroxychloroquine?
Chloroquine.
Oh, I got it right. That's a shocker. Yeah. And no one knows why exactly. So there's two
just
people
to piss
in the White
people
House.
off. Why won't he wear a mask? Just to piss people off. Why? I mean, everyone's feeding into his chaos. You know what I mean? Including our governor. So everyone wants to keep going round and round with this idiot, and now here we are. So, I'm over. I'm over all you politicians. All of you can kiss my ass. Gretchy, Trumpy, all of you. Kiss it. Done.
Republican, Democrat.
Dude, you're all assholes.
Green Party. All kiss it.
They're all going around and round, and we're stuck in the middle, stuck at home. I'm fucking over it.
Now, it's funny you say that because a good example of that is people are still 30%. 30% is it unemployment rate throughout the country? Yeah. Still nothing on a second stimulus check. They're fighting over it right now, and so by the time they do finally agree, we're all going to be back to work. Well, maybe not in Michigan. So the stimulus checks, and then there's been wild plans for that. So that's still in debate. Bill, any thought on the stimulus checks? Do you think you should just skip it?
Well, if they were going to do it, they should have done it a long time ago, because by the time all this stuff gets affected, some people will be back to work, whatnot. But I wouldn't hold my breath, but two, that at some point this is going to come back, right? It's not like you're just getting free money. This is going to come, you're going to, they'll back out of it at some point. I think it's through taxes, right?
Yeah. Screw you. It's just like when you get in a car accident. That insurance company is slowly going to get their money back. You know it, too. With the government, it might not be slowly.
They might want to focus on getting people back to work instead of trying to figure out what the most effective way to give groups, which groups to give stimulus money to.
Yeah. So that's his chance. They're still debating. They don't know if they're going to do it, not do it. They don't know if they're going to send it to businesses. And then Democrats are going to have a plan. Republicans have a plan. Neither one of them meet up. It's clusterfuck.
And meanwhile, common sense is in the middle, and all these idiots are on the outside. You know what I mean? I'm just over it. Ugh.
Yeah.
There's no place for common sense in Washington.
Nope, not at all. No room.
So now also this week it was kind of a good and kind of a bad for us people in Michigan. Now I'm not saying Bill, Illinois is a little different.
He's got his jail prison. Yeah, I'm totally.
Earlier in the week, our governor, Gretchen Whitmer, who wants to be on the View.
She's a redneck woman.
Yeah, she's a redneck woman. She wants to be on the View. She wants to be vice president. So she started opening up the north. So the UP, Traverse City, and stuff. As of midnight last Thursday, bars were open. As soon as they did, it was on the news. People flocked there immediately.
Because we're tired of being locked in our goddamn houses for freaking 3 months.
They opened at 12:01. By 12:02, every bar had 30 to 60 people in it. But at the same time, later in the week, she extended the lockdown for the lower Michigan until June 12th. Charles, you're very happy about this. Tell us about it.
I'm over it. If you can't tell by my disdain during this entire segment, it's just I don't understand. Like, so again, and I put on here we could discuss this a little later or whatever, but like the whole point of the lockdown was to alleviate the stress on the healthcare system. So we were supposed to flatten the curve and all this kind of stuff. No one said that we were going to stay in our houses until no one got it anymore. Like, that was not part of the deal. I don't remember that conversation. I remember hearing when Fauci was up there that, listen, the stress that will happen into the healthcare system will make it collapse. So if we all hang out in our houses, it will alleviate and flatten the curve. The curve has been stomped flat as shit, and I'm still in my house, and I'm over it. Like, I don't get it. Like, at some point, we have to figure out what the new normal is. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, so, to your point, like, we can't run out and go to the bar and do all this kind of stuff if we're all standing next to each other, but you're going to have infections. The deal wasn't I had to stay in my house until they came up with a vaccine. That never came up. I don't recall that being a situation. We just lost BV. Oh, there he goes. Right. Back. But yeah, so I thought for sure she was going to start to pull the plug at the end of the month. I cannot believe that we are going till the 12th of June now. It is just, it's one of the most incredible things. I'm just dumbfounded by this. And at some point, to BV's point, the financial ramifications, I don't want to sound like a Republican because I don't want BV's grandma to die or not, you know what I mean? Like, I'll wear
risk it. My grandparents are all dead already.
Yeah, but so we're good to go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then here's the thing, like, everyone's freaking out because, and I'm not even reporting on the numbers anymore because they finally got tests. So, like, now all the mortality rate's gone way down and I'm still stuck in my goddamn house. Again, she's a woman I voted for. I typically lean very liberal and democratic, but I don't know what to do, man. Like, I am just plainly over it at this point. I don't know if you guys have a different take on it. This 12th thing just burned me to death. I'm just annoyed to shit with this 12th.
Well, I have a question. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Steve, I didn't mean to cut you off. But,
no, go ahead.
So, question. I think, well, I can agree. I mean, not coming from a historically Republican background, although I don't associate with them either anymore. But that this is not a very good move. But do you think that she's still got the people's welfare first in mind, or do you think this is starting to become a political ploy?
There's no doubt in my mind that, like, it's a pissing match between two political parties, and who's stuck in the middle is all of us in our house. It's the weirdest thing. Trump won't even show you that he wears a mask to a factory. You know what I mean? Like, it's so weird. We live in the craziest time where politically these assholes are going round and round, and we as the people are stuck in the middle of these assholes. And then you got these other crazy people who are aligning themselves with these assholes. I'm done with all of them. This is going to be the first time where when I go to the polls in November, I'm only going to vote on local millages and stuff like that. I'm not voting on anything. I'm over it. I am so annoyed with this. And if you try to wrap it in any other wrapper than this, you're full of shit. You're either skewing toward a Trump thing or skewing towards a Biden thing. at the end of the day, common sense is in the middle, and we're getting hosed, and I'm over it.
Yeah. And Jill Stein vote didn't look too bad now, does it?
Yeah, I mean, shit, give me that Green Party. This is a joke, dude. I'm telling you,
I'm going to
man.
write in William Lockhart.
Dude,
That's what I'm going to do. You're going to get one presidential vote.
And
Bill.
she'll come out and be like, well, the numbers are this and that and the other. Well, the numbers are fine because you finally got fucking tests. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it's going to keep going up. We flattened the curve. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sit here and say you got to go out and lick door handles tomorrow or nothing like that. But like,
that is a good hobby, though.
We got to get back to some kind of like new normal. At some point, we need to figure out what our world looks like going forward. Sitting in our house is not going to be the answer. And again, I'm not going to march on Lansing with an AR-15 because all that does is more political bullshit there too. Yeah. I'm just done. I hate all of them. All you politicians can kiss my ass.
Well, if you change your mind, you can borrow mine.
I'm done.
Well, really, all she's doing at this point is hurting small businesses.
Yes.
Because I went to Home Depot today, and it was an insane asylum.
Yes.
There's millions of people. Walmart, packed. Target,
Correct.
packed. So you're just crippling all the small businesses.
You're crippling all the restaurant industry. You're crippling. I mean, there's a million things you can go on and on about. And she's just okay. She's willing to sacrifice those to get a political bid to be Joe Biden's vice president. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, she's like, okay, but I don't want to sacrifice BB's grandma, so I'm wearing a mask and doing everything. But she's willing to sacrifice how many millions of businesses? Again, I don't want to get. I'm not for Trump. I'm not for Gretchen. I'm not for any of them. You're all assholes. But God, I'm at the end of my rope, man.
I like it.
This one is
finally
just.
See the light.
I am done.
Giving fingers to both
Dude,
sides.
I'm done. For all of you,
he's
I'm
mad as
done.
hell and he's not going to take it anymore.
From any of them, I don't give a shit, man. This 12, it's just like when she closed down Home Depot for like flooring. It made no sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
they're just throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah. We flattened the curve, man. Figure out what the new normal is and let's get after it. You know what I mean? Don't go and cough on one another and wear your mask and be a good citizen. But, like, we got to figure out a way forward. We can't sit in our houses till the fall. Like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Yet then there's other states like Utah that never even closed down. So how can you explain to me that we're locked down for 3+ months and Utah's over there having a party still? It's the craziest shit I've ever experienced.
Yeah, I don't get it. Maybe we need to be Mormon. I don't know.
It's crazy, man. Brigham Young was onto something. I'm done.
So if you tune in this Saturday for Charles's political podcast,
dude, I'm telling you. But I'm gonna go off on all of them. They're all assholes. Like you're a dick, you're a dick, you're all dickheads. Like, dude.
So let's look at the track record. I wanted free college for Holly. She told me no. I wanted no tax to fix the roads. She tried to tax it. Then she got to get free college again, and it was only for 25-year-old emergency workers. And now she's extended the lockdown 2 or 3 times now.
Crazy.
I hate this governor.
How is it possible?
Rick Snyder, but he never did this to us.
But Steve, like with a straight face, we're locked down longer than the county that this shit started in. Like, how is this possible? Or province or whatever the hell Wuhan is? I don't know. What's that, Steve?
I'm starting a wet market tomorrow.
Dude,
so.
I'm telling you, it's the craziest shit.
We're going to be locked down longer.
Go, give me some pangolins. I'm going to go fucking stack them over top of some bats.
Bats, rats, and raccoons will be sold at my wet market.
I'm just over it. I really am.
Well, you didn't do your hand sanitizer, or you just don't
because
care?
fuck that. I don't care. Dude, give me the goddamn
I'll
coat.
a little extra for both of us.
Dude, I can't.
So what is
Steve.
Illinois locked down to? Are you guys about ready
where
to
are
start
you
up?
guys at? What phase are you on or whatever?
We are. Some
very
areas,
thorough.
I think, are starting phase 3 at the end of the month.
Which means what? What do you get?
They're going to open things like, with limited rules, things like hair salons and retail stores. Restaurants, to a certain degree, I think they're only allowing them open for outdoor seating. And then what they're doing now. So still pretty limited. I mean, they're going back very, very slowly. Some of the
We got you beat. We'll go even slower over here.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's still. I'm
race to
interested
go in
to see
reverse.
if,
I'm telling you.
yeah, with that update to the 12th, I'll be interested to see if Pritzker decides to follow suit. But
It's
so
crazy.
there you go. Now I'm headed eventually down to Ohio to go to the mall down there to take Holly for her birthday to let her go shopping because they're open. So
I don't
what the
know,
hell,
man. I'm
willing to
over
risk it.
Well, that's the other thing too. She's like, you can do retail shopping by appointment. What the fuck? I'm gonna call Five Below. Hey, I'll be in at noon to pick up some pool floaties. Like, what does that even mean? So
The wait list wouldn't be
stupid.
long or anything.
It's
they
so
were doing that
dumb.
at Best Buy yesterday. I went to Best Buy to pick up something, and
You had like a window of opportunity. Like, what did you do? How did you
well,
do
no,
it?
I just went to the curbside, but people
Oh.
were going up. I have an appointment for a
It's so
consultation. Or,
Oh my
I don't know what they
god!
had to look at that they had to go in, privately to.
I'm looking at getting a Bluetooth speaker at noon tomorrow. I'll see you then. It's so stupid, man. People are gonna get sick. It's not good. I'm not here to tell you it's good. But it's inevitable. We can't. You just can't run your risk of or run your life like it's just not gonna happen. God, I'm tired. Tired right now. I'm just tired of it.
Well, there you go. There's a little look at the COVID still going on strong with the Michigan lockdown, Illinois lockdown. Other states have let up quite a bit. Ohio is one of them that's close to us. I know Georgia has let up quite a bit. Florida, and it even looks like New Jersey, which got hit pretty hard, is letting up a little bit. So maybe Gretchen Whitmer will
love
catch
that.
on eventually. I just want a redneck woman right now. I just
Yeah.
didn't know it. So
One other
There
thing
we
I
go.
put on here too, I'm going to try to get an antibody test. So as an essential worker, apparently you can get the antibody test, and I think Michelle should too. I just sent a e-message to my primary care physician to see if I can get in there and take it. Because like that peace of mind would be really nice to have. Like if I could get like a positive pop on that, that would go a long way to feeling pretty good during all this too, So I'm going to try to do that.
Michelle's works is getting them in 2 more weeks.
No, that's cool. So yeah,
Let's
so
go.
she'll be able to check it out. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm going to see if my primary can get me in to take a look at it.
All right, so there you go. Now I had a little bit of a taste test, but I didn't bring it with me because we already ate it. But I tried the new Cheesecake Factory ice cream.
Didn't make
anyone
it.
tried that?
Tried to have a taste test,
But it
I
didn't
already
make it.
ate it.
Well, Michelle bought it for herself.
Man
She was
down,
eating it.
BB,
I
man
didn't
down.
Yeah, bring it here.
You know,
So
redneck,
Cheesecake Factory has put out a brand of ice cream. I don't know if you guys have tried this. It tastes like a frozen cheesecake,
Oh, that's
piece of
pretty
cheesecake.
tasty. Yeah, that's good.
It's exclusively at Kroger's and Target. Myers does not have it. Meyer, whatever you want to call it. Very tasty stuff. But if you're diabetic,
I was gonna say.
you shouldn't be eating too much of it.
Now
But
that's
it
a
is
company that's struggling through this whole quarantine lockdown stuff. Cheesecake Factory is really, they said that they stopped paying leases and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah, I've heard a lot of big companies in that Novi Mall have said, you know what, we're not paying this.
yeah, it's
I
crazy.
didn't even know.
Do you guys see that Hertz just filed bankruptcy? That's pretty nutty to see that. Like that's like a weird institution of that's been around forever. What flavor you got? Just OG original?
This is just original. So this
Okay.
literally just tastes like a frozen cheesecake.
I wonder if it's just like their batter or whatever, just frozen up.
Have you ever had at the Stone Cold Creamery the cheesecake ice cream flavor?
No, I'm
Yes.
not a big Cold Stone guy.
It tastes like that.
Does it?
Wow, it's delicious though. Oh my god. Oh,
It's funny to watch
Well,
a grown man
every
die on
taste test
TV
after all.
or die
Here.
on the internet. It's
yeah. Sure. Any guess on how many total sugars?
oh jeez. 30.
Let me take one more. For you. You're right on the money.
No,
29.
man.
29.
Yeah,
So,
20. Oof.
and
What
the
are you
doctor
supposed to
told us
stay below? What do you guys
10. Below 10.
What's a serving? How many servings in that little cup? What do you got there? 2.5 or something? Jim?
2.5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
360 for one serving, 1,000 calories for the container.
Oh,
and you know,
man.
back in the day, I would just take this container. Right?
yeah.
But this is Michelle, come here. It's exclusive at Kroger and at Target. Delicious.
A
Target.
lot
on
of
the
weird
hill.
exclusivities we've been running into. Like the Frostbite from last week was exclusive to Walmart.
Yeah,
Cheesecake
yeah.
Factory exclusive to, he said, Kroger and Target. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, here's the funny thing about that frostbite from last week. I went to get a tank top from Holly today. They got them restocked. So you can get them all over the place. So if you want to try the Berry Mountain Dew, feel free. So big thumbs up to the Cheesecake Factory ice cream. That was an impromptu taste test. Michelle just got it today. That's why I didn't put it on the notes. But they had chocolate. They had vanilla or original there. And I think they had like a strawberry swirl one too. Tastes just like a frozen. What? And cookies and cream.
There you go.
I got my producer back there just yelling.
Yeah, all right. I'm checking in with Baba Booey over here.
Yeah, I know. Now, before we go into reviews and thoughts, I just want to mention Michelle did record the Amy Schumer show that Bill saw too. Oh my God, is it terrible? It is terrible. I don't know what they're doing. So it's filmed from their home, and they don't even dress up. Like her husband has his hair messed up, like he just got out of bed. She's not even wearing shoes. It's a train wreck. I don't know what
is this the food one where she's learning to cook?
Yes. And her husband's supposedly a chef. He has the personality of a board. And then she's trying to be funny, and they got like their nanny holding the video to video them. It's supposed to be all done at home or whatever.
Oh, it's so behind the mirror, like you just see they drop the veil.
I made about 10 minutes into that, and I told Michelle to delete it. Ugh. Bill, did you make it further than 10 minutes?
No.
It's another big show challenge.
We've passed it a couple times now, but the thing is that she makes no attempt whatsoever to look presentable.
That's her thing, though. She doesn't have to do that for you, BV. Like, she's a real woman. That's what a real woman looks like. How dare you tell her what a real woman's going to be, BV?
Congratulations for
How
her.
dare you, man.
Put a hat on or something.
Man. What would you understand with your penis? Ew.
Well, take a shower.
What are you? Okay? We're doing the best through quarantine, Steve. You male piece of shit.
Well, your water still works in the quarantine. I'm just saying.
Dude, her and Ashley Graham together just shitting on me.
Your hair and your ass.
Yeah. Soap, water, and hairbrushes all work during a quarantine.
Maybe a bottle of douche.
Oh, wow,
and a bottle of douche. So, I don't know. It was a train wreck. I agree with Bill on that one. It was bad. Even Michelle was like, ugh. And then she quit recording the series. So
I'll tell you this much. I don't want to derail what you're talking about, but shot from home. So you're saying this particular Amy Schumer series is shot from home. The Pioneer Woman is doing her show from lockdown with her kids recording. This is the best show I've ever seen. Oh my God. Like it's filmed, like her kids are holding like a DJI, like Osmo little like tripod thing. It looks just like the real production, Steve. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, she's does it real good. Is Guy Fieri. He had his son.
Oh my God. They're doing great stuff, man. Yeah. Well,
apparently, they didn't give the money to Amy Schumer's nanny to get the proper cameras.
Oh man!
Because that one triple D lockdown version that they've shown like every Friday for the last month.
Yes.
BB's been checking that out.
The same one with the bald head guy putting the cheese sauce over the freaking hot dog.
Yeah.
That sounds all right though. Yeah, hold on. Tell me more of this cheese sauce, BB.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I just good up on that. Those from at home Pioneer Woman. Steve saying that the Guy Fieri stuff, I was just super impressed by her and her kids filming that shit. Like it's top notch.
Well, a lot of those chefs do a lot of those shows from their own homes, so that you think you would have the good gear there.
And that's what so Heather and I were talking about. If you think about the Pioneer Woman started out as a video blogger before she was on Food Network. She did all that stuff online. Good on her, man. That show looks great right now.
When is she on besides Sunday mornings?
It's like I think it's an early Saturday or Sunday, one of the two. Yeah, we Google or we DVR it, and and again, I don't want to go off on a whole Pioneer, but she makes such accessible food. Like I just love the Pioneer Woman. I'm sorry, like she doesn't make super country food, but she makes like food that like the average American would number one like to eat and number two can make. You know what I mean? Like big ups to the Pioneer Woman, man. Pour one out for Ree Drummond, man. I like her.
I had. She annoys the hell out of me.
Who's that?
The Pioneer Woman.
Oh, you can't stand her?
I like that. I agree with you on the food. She makes things that are practical and people actually don't have to go, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, her personality just drives me.
I love her, man. I can't get enough of Riri, man.
She drives me nuts.
Dude, I love her.
I had a cooking moment Saturday, so I made a beef pot roast.
Yeah, you said you texted me earlier in the week how to turn out.
Yeah. It was good.
Was it in the bag? Did you do the bag move, or what'd you do?
No. I bought the roast, put it in a slow cooker, and then I made everything from scratch. It was really good. Everyone here hated it but me. So I ate like 2 pounds of roast. Just like, I'm gonna eat it. Fuck you guys. Michelle just hates that old school. They called that old man meal.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, that's a good analogy. I'm sure you could have took some over to Mr. Henson. He'd have loved eating it with you.
Oh, that's what Michelle said. Her dad loves it. But next week, I'm going to hit him with beef stew. So, Bill, I want to get your review first, your final thoughts on Jordan, The Last Dance, because then me and Charles are going to go through a bunch of crap we watched. Yeah. So what did you think? Was it worth it? Was it anything new in this series that you thought was cool that you didn't already know? Go ahead, Bill.
There were a lot of new. I mean, each episode there was a little something new that I didn't already know. The biggest thing, because the last 2 episodes kind of brought you full circle into the season they were covering and brought it all together. And for example, like the famous flu game in the finals against the Jazz. Well, the story that Jordan says is that he was hungry and there was nothing open about midnight the night before that game, and that his people started calling around. They found one pizza place. So like 3 or 4 guys delivered the pizza personally to the hotel room and were kind of chuckling in the background when they did it or something like that. And the guys that were with him were kind of like, man, what the hell's going on? And they didn't touch it. So he's the only one that ate the pizza. So he said it was actually food poisoning. He never had the flu.
Whoa.
Just sort of,
that's
more
crazy.
than implied that the pizza
someone
place,
local like hosed him. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Wow.
So you're telling me a local pizza guy knows how to make a pizza just enough to poison an all-star basketball player?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just that's
the speculation. Like, yeah, that's pretty nutty though. Wow.
So, but yeah, it was again. I mean, just same production throughout. Really, really good.
Has it filled a void for your lack of like sports right now? Has it done a good job at least scratching a little bit of that itch?
Yeah, I mean, this kind of stuff I would watch, even if there were, sports to watch too. But yeah, it helped a little bit. It was interesting to go back. It doesn't hurt that it covers an area of time that like we were all, as sports fans, really close to. I mean, the Bulls love or hate or whatever, with the Pistons, bad boy Pistons being such a big part of that. Most basketball fans in the 90s either really liked Jordan or couldn't stand him. And I was always on the side of couldn't stand him. But so it's nice to, when and this kind of goes to any sport that I follow, and they go to an era that's sort of, it goes back a ways, but it goes to where I was still, understand and doesn't go before I was really kind of when I was in the thick of my prime of sports watching. Yeah, it helps a little bit, but God, I mean, I'm sitting here, looking over my, looking to the side every couple minutes to see what the score is in the Tiger and Peyton and Phil and Tom Brady. By the way, Tom Brady is fun to watch play golf because he makes the same kind of mistakes we make.
Oh, he's a hack?
He was chipping onto a green. I think he's playing like total crap, but he had this thing where he's chipping up to the green, and he chunked it. It went like 10 feet. He shakes his head, walks up to it, and chunks it again. He's slicing stuff into woods like every tee shot. But yeah, the void cannot be filled by anything other than real sports.
Did you guys happen to see last week tonight this the John Oliver show? He showed marble racing on YouTube. That was super funny. People are gonna start betting on marble racing. Let Bert know there's a fantasy league for marble racing.
So, what was your final score out of scale of 1 to 10, Bill, that you'd give The Last Dance?
I'd give it a 9.
Ooh, 9. It's probably one of the best 30 for 30 type documentaries you've seen ever. Yeah. Did
you feel it was too long, or it was just the right amount of time, or?
No, I thought it was. I thought it was good. I mean, they probably could have gone longer if they wanted to. I've seen some interviews with the creator that or the producer that kind of talked about some things that weren't in the show. And I mean, they could have gone longer, and it wouldn't have been.
Was it supposed to be this many parts, or did they audible to like giving it so much more birth or whatever? Did they?
They had originally planned for it to be 10 hours of content. I don't know if they planned it to be 10 episodes, but yeah. So no, I thought it was good. Probably too long for you, Steve, because anything longer than half,
Unless you put an army at the end.
Fair enough.
Constant explosions. And,
It's like
short attention.
I don't understand. When does Jordan enlist? What's happening?
Yeah. When do you put a helmet on?
No.
So now rumor is they're gonna go do a Tom Brady version of this.
Oh wow.
Bill, any interest in watching the Tom Brady version? If we're all still on lockdown next year, you watching the Tom Brady?
You know what? Like
a 2021 lockdown, Tom Brady style.
I'd probably watch it just because the ESPN people do those things so well. I doubt I'll enjoy it as much because I didn't care for Jordan as a player, when he was a player, but I don't have like that long, lifelong deep-seated hatred for him like I do for Tom Brady. So
I was thinking about back to the Jesus. Who's phone? Oh my God, dude, BB's blown up. The other one they could do this for is like Tiger Woods. You know what I mean? Like do it for him. That'd be a good one too. Because like I'd love to see like him get real about some of that stuff that he went through and all that kind of stuff too. But
yeah, but would they cover some of that?
I don't know, but I'd be compelled to watch. I'll be honest with you. It'd be kind of good.
I wonder if he'd be as candid as Michael Jordan was. I was surprised that Jordan was as open and honest about things as he was, because he was always so guarded throughout his career.
Who else can you do for this? Like, who else you got? You got like a baseball guy that they could do this for, like a Jeter? He's kind of boring though, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's any real.
Who's the guy dating J-Lo? That's instant.
Yeah, dude.
And he had the steroid allegations.
Yeah.
He'd be fun.
Oh, he admitted to taking it.
Yeah, let's have a good time with him. Let's see some strip club.
Give me 10 hours into that life. See what's doing.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see one with Barry Bonds, maybe.
Mm-hmm. How his head and body got so huge after like one season.
Allegedly.
Hey, he just really found the gym, Steve.
Oh, man. So there you go. And then before we go in more reviews, I'm sorry at the top of the show, I did forget to wish a happy birthday to our sister, Patricia Hill.
No.
Turns 42 today. So she is officially old. 42, right? You're going to be 41? Am I correct?
Sounds right. That? I guess. I don't know. Who cares? We're all adults here. Like, move on.
Well, Aunt Trish is going to be 42. So happy birthday to her today.
One of the other things we didn't put on the list, and we got to talk about because we talk about it every week, and we do touch on it pre-show. I don't see it on here. We got to discuss the dark side of the ring, too, before BV zones out on our ring.
Yeah. I didn't see this week.
Oh, you didn't see the Owen Hart one? Oh, my God. Dude.
Yeah, I did check that one.
Steve, man.
It was a good one.
Yeah, dude.
I fell down a Call of Duty hole all week.
Hard Call of Duty
I'm
hole.
level 85 on Call of Duty. I've never been that high in my life.
Wow. All right. About the prestige over here. But yeah, so it was Owen Hart. They talked about his upbringing into the obviously, it was like in the first half hour, he fell. And then the second half hour was like posthumously, like how it was handled, how his wife, who is insanely smart, educated woman, like figured out her way forward, how she wanted to do stuff. And oh my God, like kudos to that wife, man. I didn't know that backstory, man. Super crazy stuff. BV?
Well, and of course that, in classic Vince McMahon fashion, he countersued her.
I don't know.
Her husband falls in the middle of a pay-per-view from the rafters of Kemper Arena.
Dude.
But he sues her back for what I have no idea.
That dude is a vile human being, man.
They showed this snippet from an interview with this lady that asked him just like just a serious question, and I don't appreciate your tone. He's got to be the biggest prick in America. He's got to be a bigger prick than Donald Trump, if that's possible.
Dude, it is crazy. What about the stuff like with the type of she had like the D ring or whatever that they put on her back. So basically, like in previous iterations of when he did this, what is it, Bluebird? What's the character he's doing at this point? Blue Blazer. Yes, he's doing the Blue Blazer initially. He had a hard time unharnessing or like unhooking. So then basically they implied this time they wanted like a quicker release. The problem is like the little shackle thing that you could release with like a pinky finger. So like he went and took a gainer.
You said it was about 6 pounds of pressure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah, they were using like, big industrial sized carabiners.
Yeah, and professional riggers too. They kind of touched on Steve. Oh my God!
They just put this hook onto his vest and dropped him from 80 feet down.
And then they talk about like JR is like beside himself, and then like the show must go on type stuff. Oh my God! You talk about if that Jordan stuff's a 9. This was a 10, Steve. I for an hour was on the edge of my seat going, "Holy crap!"
I gotta catch it. I gotta watch it.
I remember I was watching that pay-per-view.
Oh, were you?
Remember when I had the black box back in the day?
Oh, geez, old school.
Yeah, I was watching the pay-per-view, and when it happened, it was weird. You could tell that it wasn't part of the show really quickly.
People were like shook, yeah.
Well, no, because they were showing like a little vignette about the little video piece on Blue Blazer when he fell, and they came back. Lawler gets up and walks away, and they've got JR's by himself, and he's trying to compose himself to try to say what's going on, and then they just put the camera right out into the crowd for like 15 minutes.
Dude, again, that show, man, I couldn't be more wrong. I tried to go back and watch. I watched the Montreal Screwjob one and stuff like that. The first season, like with the Moolah stuff, got a little too old schooly for me, and like how she also was like pimping out chicks and all that kind of stuff. But man, Dark Side of the Ring is so good. That show is phenomenal. Vice Land, again, anything on Vice, man, is shot out of the park, dude. Great show.
Yeah, they got a show coming up on the heels of that Last Dance. They have that some show called A Man in His Shoes, where it looks like sort of like the negative effects that like the Jordans.
Oh, like kids getting like attacked and stuff. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I DVR'd that. I'm gonna check that out.
Side note on a side story. You remember when Gabe was at the gym and he got his wallet and credit card stolen out of his locker? Remember that story? It was about a year.
Are you talking to me or BV? Because I don't know nothing about this. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, Gabe went to LA Fitness. He didn't have a padlock, so he just threw his wallet.
People drive me nuts with that.
Yeah, well,
I work with a guy who had it at Planet Fitness, and I asked him, I go, well, how did they cut your lock? Oh, you didn't have a lock. Like, well, I mean, what are we doing? Anyway, I'm sorry. To your point.
Well, besides that, he should have locked it, but he locks it now. But the guy took his credit card, went to the local mall like a half mile down the road, and bought $2,000 worth of Foot Locker stuff.
Oh, that's crazy.
So Gabe got to start getting the text and everything. He's like, "What the hell?"
Oh, wow! Did he fraud alert all that stuff? Did it work? Did he was he able to fraud alert all that stuff? And
yeah, he didn't get charged for any of it.
Okay.
But they did. He called the Foot Locker. The guy was still there buying stuff. Gabe called the Foot Locker, and all the Foot Locker said, "Well, we can call security, but they can't detain him." So the guy kind of got away with it all. But so I thought that's when you said Foot Locker. He just told me that story the other day. I started cracking up. I didn't know
somebody's shoe game.
Oh man. So we go from the Dark Side of the Ring and Jordan's Last Dance, 2 great things, down to a turd sandwich.
This looks terrible, Steve. I can't believe.
I think Randy may have brain damage because Randy told me, it's got some laughs.
Well, hold on. Give everyone the name of this joyous.
This is The Wrong Missy, starring David Spade,
who looks way older now. Anyway, go ahead.
Nick Schwartzman or whatever the other guy was. It's the Adam Sandler crew. Wow, is this bad? First off. David Spade's either wearing a wig or
he looks weird. He's got
like
that John Cena look to him where it's like, dude,
his hair looks like it's in the 40s and he looks like he's in the 60s. I don't know. It makes no sense. And then the Nick Schwartzman guy dyed his hair like a jet dark brown. And he looks weird. So everyone comes on the screen. It's like, what the hell?
Who was the hairstylist on this set?
Yes. And then they got the girl she's a crazy, kooky girl. And I can't think of her name
She's
right now.
She's off Crashing. I know exactly who you're talking about.
She's in a ton of stuff.
She played the original wife on Crashing.
Yeah, this screams.
She also played on Big Bang Theory in the comic book shop. She was the significant other of the comic book shop guy, too.
She's been good and funny in other things. This is a classic case of someone trying to be funny, like over the top funny when they're not. Like sometimes Jim Carrey will try to be super funny and it's just like
let it breathe a little bit.
Yeah, or Robin Williams. This is there's a whole movie of this. And it is one of the worst pieces.
You watched this on Randy's recommendation. Randy was like,
"There's gonna be some laughs," and I was like, "I haven't seen David Spade in a long time, so maybe."
Yeah.
There's like one or two scenes of Rob Schneider who's kind of funny. He's like a boat guy. He has no fingers. He's punching a shark in the face. He's funny. Everything else is terrible.
Oh
in this
my
movie. It's
god!
terrible.
I saw the trailer. I was like, "Oh my god!" So the premise is he got a free business trip to like the tropics, and a kooky chick named Missy he dated once. He sent her the invite, and not the hot
Instead of
chick.
the hot Missy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Then of course he kind of falls for the kooky Missy.
Oh,
and then,
shocking! We're
it was
endeared to
terrible.
the kooky one.
There's some guest appearances in it. Roman Reigns shows up. He has a little bit part at a bar.
It looked
And then
terrible.
Vanilla Ice shows up at the end too for no reason. It was terrible. This movie was terrible. If Netflix paid more than $10 to have this movie, they're stupid. That's all I gotta say. Wow, 2 out of 10. Only because there's two scenes with Rob Schneider that was funny.
Yeah.
Everything else was.
It would have been a 1 without the Schneider parts.
Yeah, yes.
Have you guys ever seen Lights Out?
Which one is that?
Comedy Central show. It's a Comedy Central show.
Oh, it's his late night thing he does?
Yeah. Really, really bad.
Is it? I like David Spade. He's a witty dude.
Not really funny now, though.
Oh, wow.
He's lost it. He's totally lost
Wow.
it. Watch this movie. Any confidence you have in him is gone. I'm telling you right now. It is bad. Wow, was that bad. It was one of the worst things. So that was the wrong Missy. A big 2 out of 10. Where Bill hits it with a 9 out of 10 for Jordan.
Look at Steve. Coming up with Steve's animated superhero movie of the week. We need to get you a theme song for this segment going forward.
Just like clockwork, I found me a new animated
He's back in
movie.
prison.
Back to jail. Justice League Dark Apocalypse.
You're the only one that watches these.
I
Oh
have
my
you
God.
know, this movie was fantastic. I will watch this movie twice. If I
Dude,
could.
hey man, if you love it, so how did you consume it? Let's get down to the real one. So
Vudu, I put it on Vudu. I read it. It was $6 on Vudu to rent.
okay.
Which I wish my family video would come back so I could pay $3.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
So
Whatever.
this is a hot new release. This is a hot new.
Yeah,
one.
it's brand new. It's just like that Mortal Kombat one was a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Justice League Dark is Constantine.
If you remember that one, the Mortal Kombat one,
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what the hell he's talking
Remember Mortal
about.
Kombat 32? Yeah.
Steve has no-
This is so violent.
You
They made
love
It's
it.
like kind of rated R, but it's no nudity or anything, but just very violent. There's a lot of cussing in it. I like it.
Oh, it's that
Superman,
edgy
Batman.
DC stuff. It's like how the new whatever the new Teen Titans is. It's very edgy and like kind of like they're swearing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
in it?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and they fight Darkseid. Darkseid's always one of my favorite villains. Bill is on the edge of his seat. with this.
He needs to know the full review. He's looking it up to rent it right now.
I will give this an 8 out of 10.
Oh, that's
8
a high-
animated Supermans out of 10
Oh,
Supermans.
so how in the
enjoyed it.
pantheon? Let's derail the show hard here for Steve
Okay,
here
do
for a
you
moment.
really want to go down this rabbit hole?
Yeah, give me Steve's top 3 animated superhero movies
so
for
hard,
BV.
so hard.
BV, get a pen and paper. Write this down. Let's get this going.
Well, first off, they're all
It doesn't
DC.
matter. You don't got to. It doesn't matter. This is Steve's
Okay.
list for no reason other than these are what Steve enjoys. Give the 3
Well, all right.
hitters.
So I'm gonna go a little outside the box. Number 3 is The Incredibles. I thought The Incredibles was one of the best. That's the best Fantastic Four movie you're ever
No,
gonna see.
okay.
Is The Incredibles. So that's number 3. Number 2, man, there's so many to pick from.
Steve's
I
animation minute.
I like Batman and the Red Hood. That's a good one.
I don't even think I've heard of that one. I'll be honest.
hell
with
is that?
you.
That
I
is,
don't think of that. That's
Robin, one of the Robins ended up thought was dead, gets brought back to life in the Lazarus pit, and he starts his own thing called the Red Hood. He's kind of like Batman, but he'll actually murder people and stuff. Oh, it's good. It's all. It's good.
okay. So that's the number 1 hitter for Steve. Get that Red Hood Batman.
And then there's Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. I like that one just because they did the animation style, like Ed McGuinness, who drew the comic. So I
know
like
who
Superman,
that is.
Batman.
That's
Public
Skinny
Enemies.
Ankle Guys, right? Isn't that isn't Ed McGuinness?
No, Ed McGuinness was like the beefy, like He-Man. Everybody looked like He-Man.
Okay.
So there's my 3 right there. I mean, There's probably a ton more.
So how does this rank? So this new one's really solid movie is what you're telling me. This is like top 10 material is what you're saying? It's that good?
It's close. Yeah, it's close. It's up there.
That's a hitter. It's a hitter for folks right there, man. Write that down, BB. Get that hitter.
It also gives alternative characters like Constantine, Swamp Thing, Demon, stuff like that. And it also still gives you Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman too. So you got the main guys and the.
Steve, you're not gonna tell me. I believe you. I believe this is amazing. Right. Yeah. So I come to you if I'm like sitting at home. If you need
Incredibles, at least I don't know anything about no damn.
If you need a solid animation movie, you come to Steve. Steve is your home and source for all things Marvel and DC animation. It's like it's so weird.
Animation is so much better than Marvel.
Oh man, so you like that Warner animation group thing and all that?
Yeah. Like DC animation is done in the animated world what Marvel did in the movie world.
Steve is the only one that's watching these. I love it. He's keeping a whole industry together. Steve, it's like some Chinese guys at home just painting millions of cells just so Steve can watch it. It's so funny. I love it.
Well, they don't really have to hand paint them anymore. They do keyframes and then they use the computer. Anyways, I don't want to go into detail.
I love it. Just so you know, anytime you want to discuss at length Steve's animation movies, I'm down.
So in a couple months, All-Star Superman comes out. That's the next DC animated movie. That comes out in July.
Mark your calendars, BB. Mark your calendars.
I think it's
All-Star Superman?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah. Mm-hmm. That'll be a good. That's basically
how are you?
Superman's not all-stars.
Yeah, they're not.
The best of the best.
How do you get how do you find the new releases?
I just sense them.
They send you emails. I bet Steve's on like a list.
No, IGN.com.
Man, so you gave it an 8. What did IGN give this piece? Are you close? Are you lock and step with them? I'm just curious.
They're off from me. Because they like the PC stuff. If it doesn't have women empowered or something, they give it a lower grade all the time.
Wow.
So I don't know. I think they gave it a 7.
I don't care if Bergeron tunes out during the segment. I love Steve's animation minutes. I can't get enough of them every time.
I'm all in, man.
Obscure. I can't get. It's just the best.
You got those golf girls that love Japanese.
Dude, it's pure love. Thing, Steve, right? I could talk about strongmen for hours, and Steve could talk about random ass comic book animated movies for fucking hours. I love it. God, so good.
You know what some of the good ones is Hellboy animated movies. Those are good too.
Okay.
Anyways.
So it's so good.
So next on the list was my second recommendation from Randy. Now we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
So far he's batting 1,000. He recommended Dune into Wrong Missy into this. Okay.
Yeah. Now this one actually wasn't that bad. All right, so this is Upload. This is on Amazon Prime. Bill doesn't believe me. He's like, what?
Oh, my Blizzard's here.
Bacon.
I know.
Oh, well, don't tell me your Bill, but we're going to guess what flavor Blizzard you get.
What'd you get?
I'm going to guess you go Oreo Blizzard. Bill, what do you guess?
I'm going to guess Reese's Cup.
This is frosted animal cracker.
Oh, my God. Why you rip on my animation.
I didn't even know that was a flavor.
It's a new feature. Limited edition. Anyway, to your point, Steve. Now, don't let me derail you.
So, Upload essentially is the show. So, it takes place in 2033. So, it's a little bit in the future. And when you die, if you have the money, your consciousness can be uploaded into a computer program. So you never really die. You just kind of live in a digital world the rest of your life.
So it's like that altered carbon thing? Is that what you're just telling me?
Yeah, but this is more comedy. It isn't Scooby-Doo. It isn't any of that stuff. So you die, you get uploaded there, and you live there, and your family can come visit you like digitally and stuff like that. And
so you would like log on and hang out with BV is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. Or
so it's kind of the life we're living right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Not much different than what. And Bill could call me from whatever the upload place is. He can literally call you, say, "What up, foo?" And you can talk to him and stuff like that. And then eventually, if you die, you can get uploaded to the same place he's hanging out. Yeah. And we can just live an eternity next to each other, goofing off. But this show gets an A+ for uniqueness and effort. Like, their execution's really good. There's little things in it. Like Tinder in the future, you have to rate each other after you bang. You're like, oh, I'll give you a 5. I'll give you and then you get a little camera on your chest that you have to consent to before you have sex. And it's all. So there's like a little things like that. Like there's self-driving cars or self-driving bikes. When you get off the bike just drives back to where it belongs.
That's kind of cool.
So it's very well executed. Now, the only downside is it's not a full-blown comedy, but it's humorous. And the whole cast looks like they're extras from CW. So it's a beautiful cast of 20-year-olds. So it's like they could have cast some funny people.
What's the overarching premise? What are they trying to do or whatever? Like, are they just showing you living their lives is all they're showing you?
It follows the one guy. So the one guy's 29 years old. He's got a girlfriend he kind of likes, but not really. And she has a lot of money. And, of course, she wants to be more into him. He ends up dying in a car accident. So while he's in the hospital, he's not quite dead yet. She signs him up for the upload thing. And then he gets zapped up into the upload thing, and he's dead. And she's got all the money. And that's another thing funny, too, when you're in heaven. So say you want McDonald's, you have to swipe left and play $3.99 like on your credit card. Like
digital transaction kind of thing?
Yeah, so anything you want to do in heaven like is an upgrade. Like if you want to do yoga, and she has all the money, so she controls everything he does, and he can only do certain things. Very, very clever premise. And then he's a coder in real life. And he ended up dying, so there's a little bit of mystery on how he actually died. So so they're looking into that. The only bummer is all the actors look like they're from CW, and it's not overly funny, but it's very clever. Like everything they do, they even like he finds this one buddy, and he goes in like this area where he can get hacks. Yeah. So like there's this little kid that died when he was 11 years old, and all his friends are like 20 now. So he wants to be his avatar to be older. So they go to the hack place
to like bump him up, kind of thing.
No. Yeah, and when he comes back, he turns into a 20-year-old girl instead of a boy because it's like a Russian hack. But yeah. So it's stuff like that makes the show it's kind of unique. Now the bummer is it's 10 episodes, half hour an episode, and the season ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh,
it doesn't resolve anything. So if it has a second season, no big deal. It's kind of cool. But as it ends, it's kind of a bummer. I give it a 7. Just because it's probably one of the more unique shows. Now, someone that did The Office and Parks and Rec is involved in this. I don't know if it's a producer or something.
But you can see the ties.
Yeah, just how clever it is what makes you think about it. It's not overly funny, but it's still it wasn't a waste of time. Randy was kind of right on that one, so I'll give him thumbs up on that one. But I'll give him big thumbs down on the wrong Missy. But the upload one is unique, so I give that a 7. And it's on Amazon, so it's actually something to watch on Amazon Video.
Yeah,
which is quite
a rarity.
So this next one was supposed to come out at theaters, and then we all know what happened, COVID and all that.
Yeah.
So Netflix bought it from, I think, Universal Paramount is who sold it to them. This is Lovebirds, starring Kumail, Nanjiani. I don't know screw his name
Nanjiani, yeah.
Nanjiani.
The Pakistani gentleman from Silicon Valley. Yeah.
Silicon Valley, and she's from a show on HBO also.
Yeah.
I can't think of
the
name of it.
It's a very popular one. Like It's not called Awkward or something. I forget the name of it. It's got a.
So the movie's called Lovebirds. It's about a young couple who kind of gets enthralled into a murder mystery type thing, but it's all comedy. It's not very serious. It's meant to be. Charles,
so they have a shitty relationship. It's a very volatile relationship where they're always arguing, and they're basically going to a dinner party, and on their way to the dinner party, they basically slam into a guy on a bike, and like you can't tell if he was like running from someone or whatever. But then all of a sudden, the guy that they just hit gets up on there, and then another guy runs in and like commandeers their car, saying that he's a cop. So then they chase him down, and the dude catches the guy on the bike again and runs him over like 5 times. It's really funny.
The guy's just sitting in the backseat.
It's really funny. I don't know, Steve. Steve seems very lukewarm on this. I was tickled the shit out of this movie. This was one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. So then basically they get like, it's a Pakistani guy and like an African-American lady. So they're like, are you going to call the cops? You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? So they immediately run, and then it's like a weird caper of like figuring out their way back after, you know what I mean? Like, what do we do now? And like, how do we figure out what it is? This movie was funny as shit. I don't know, dude. Dinesh from friggin' Silicon Valley is very funny. What always funny to me, though, is like they play him to kind of be like a heartthrob, like a Bradley Cooper, kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if he's exactly looking like a Bradley Cooper. It's like a random Pakistani guy, you know what I mean? But like, I was tickled as shit when the bacon grease stuff, and he kept asking the annoying parts too. And with the milkshake, they had just run someone over, and they're running from the cops, and he's like, "What is this?"
That's my favorite part of the movie is that they'd be in life-threatening situations.
he's like,
he's dwelling on.
He's riffing on weird things.
Like,
it's really
why
funny.
does this car have a lighter? Who needs a lighter?
Dude, it's really funny. I don't know, man. I give it a solid 8. I had a great time with Lovebirds, man. I was totally entertained. If you got Netflix, man, check it out.
Yeah, this is probably better than 90% of the movies on Netflix. Quite shocked by that, but then again, it wasn't meant for Netflix.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's supposed to be a theater.
Netflix just bought it. Like you said, I like Kumail. He's very funny. The girl was very good, too.
Yeah.
She was funny, too.
When they had, he was claiming I'm sorry, but like he got beat up with the punches in the head, and he couldn't remember how to unlock his phone. That's funny as shit, dude. It's very good.
Like I said, if you saw Date Night though about 5 years ago, it's literally the same movie, just in a different city, which is kind of a bummer. That's Steve Carell and Tina Fey. That's the only knock I really give this one. So for me, it's like a 7 because it wasn't that original at all. But I do like the fact that when they finally do get caught by the cops are very helpful.
They're like, "Well, we were looking for you," and they're like, "Well, what do you mean?" Like, yeah, it's just super entertaining.
Definitely on Netflix. This is way better than The Wrong Missy. So do you watch The Lovebirds? Yeah. It's definitely way better.
And like Steve said, it was intended to be in the theaters and stuff, and then they kind of audibled and sold it to Netflix and stuff. It's a quality movie, super quality.
So big thumbs up from both of us. 7 from me, 8 from Charles. We both like it. Check it out. And if you've seen Date Night, forget about it and just watch this one, and then you'll be much better. So this one I had on the what to watch list. It looks like Charles already did watch it.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan. So Patton Oswalt is a very big voice acting guy. He also stars in a bunch of other movies. But like what a lot of people don't realize is he's got some serious stand-up chops. Like he is a legit stand-up. And this is another one in the line of those funny Patton Oswalt ones. He does a really good job of like, because he's usually very cerebral, like he's a very smart guy and like an articulate guy when it comes to a lot of his comedy. In this one, he didn't really get too political. He just he was mostly talking about like what life is like with like his daughter. And I don't know if you guys all know the story. Patton Oswalt, his first wife died and all this kind of stuff. This is another great Patton idea. I'm a fan of his. I tend to like his style of comedy where it's just like he looks at the sensible way of stupidity in the world, and I can't get enough of him. So yeah, it's probably an hour and 10-minute stand up, and it's top notch. It's one of those great Patton Oswalt ones. And if you've seen any of his previous work, BB, have you seen any Patton Oswalt stand ups before?
I've seen previous ones, and I've seen this one.
Oh, what'd you think?
Oh, what'd you think?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, I like him too. Really, really good, like sensible comic. Some of the stuff he was, I mean, even when he a particular part where he said he was going to make a point not to go into politics, and then he talked about how, it was like
kicked him in the back of the head either way.
Yeah, I think about a train or something with PCP and something else that gets hit by a train of diarrhea. He's talking a lot about turning 50 and his new
like
marriage.
Running trails and stuff like that. Yeah. It's funny to hear that stuff too. And he's riffing on like what it's like to be like with wellness and stuff like that as we get older. Yeah. And then you get up there and there's some of these assholes that are trying too hard. And he's just like, "What are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like it's really super funny, man.
For the record, Patton Oswalt would watch the DC animated movies. He's an old school nerd.
He is. He's very much so.
I bet you could have that same conversation with him.
I bet you the two of them, I could just sit back and watch you two riff on it for an hour. It'd be funny. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Patton Oswalt. I give this like a solid 9. It's right up there. It's quality stand-up. Really good stuff, BB.
Agreed. I give it about a 9.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like we had a bunch of good ones, except for The Wrong Missy. The Wrong Missy is a turd. It's a 2. Jordan, The Last Dance. Bill's final reveal said it was great. He'd watch one based on Tom Brady as well, but he'd hate watch it. So just if you want to know anything about DC animated movies, you just call Steve immediately. Big thumbs up to Justice League Dark Apocalypse. Upload is very clever and very funny. Not funny, but clever and very unique. So I highly recommend that one. Lovebirds, both Charles and I both agree it was pretty good. And then Patton Oswalt, I love everything. Charles and Bill in agreement. Give it a 9. I'm going to watch it this week. Now that you guys have convinced me. Sorry. So this week, I like to put on some highlights for the week, and I didn't watch most of this, but some of you might have. And did anyone watch the American Idol final?
I haven't watched American Idol since it's been on ABC. I know that Seacrest had like a stroke or something. Did anyone see all that stuff where people were like,
no, what happened?
They were like medically concerned. He looked like he was having a stroke on like the weird Zoom thing they were doing.
So I don't know what this is like. They've been doing them all on Zoom. Is that what's happening? So they come out and sing?
From what
Bill,
I gather, yeah.
I haven't watched this show since like the second or third season. So.
Yeah, so this is the wrong audience for this one. No one watched it, but that was a big show this week. So we're all in no on it. None of us watched it.
Well, I got to ask you guys this too. So, and I didn't put it on there because Steve put this week, but like America's Got Talent is coming back. Like, how are they going to do this? I don't understand how. Anyone got a clue?
You just have the judges and no audience.
I'm asking, but like you can't have big dance numbers and stuff like that either.
I don't know. I didn't know that was coming back.
Yeah, it's like it's premiering like next week or something.
Unless they recorded a lot of it over the winter before the lockdowns.
Yeah, but then what do you do when you get to the show part?
Zoom. So also this week, the other singing show, The Voice. Is anybody still watching this, or is everyone giving up on it?
I don't
even know who the judges are at this point.
Yeah,
I know it's Blake
doesn't
Shelton.
it change a bunch too, BV?
Oh, there it is.
I've never actually watched the show, so I don't know. It looks like these
Alan
guys.
Clarkson, and John Legend, and the Jonas Brothers. Those are the 4 judges.
What happened to the one guy from Maroon 5?
He's left. Michelle?
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Get in
Did you watch the final of The Voice?
Make yourself useful, Dan.
here. Get in here and tell us about The Voice.
No. What are they doing? Is it all Zoom?
They zoomed it afterwards.
Yeah, they're doing all Zoom presentation too on The Voice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So Michelle recorded it, but she hasn't watched it yet. So that was a big event this week. Also came back Homecoming. Now this is that show that had Julia Roberts on it, where she was a therapist. But it must not have made enough money because they shit canned her and then some other backup.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has to do with soldiers with PTSD, and it has like a big mystery behind it. I didn't get into the first thing. I didn't watch it. So anybody interested? Bill, you interested in that show, or you can care less?
Not even a little bit.
It's an Amazon show, so it's going to be crap. I would say no.
Yeah. And then CW premiered its Big Stargirl. This is a very random. I don't even know Stargirl, and I follow a lot of comics.
It's a comic book one? Okay.
Yeah. Somehow she's with a group of superheroes. I know Luke Wilson is in this somewhere. I'm a big no on this. I didn't like Black Lightning. I didn't like League of Legends. Once you got past Arrow and Flash, they kind of got past me. So either one of you guys interested in Stargirl?
BV is on the edge of his seat. He can't wait to watch.
I mean, no, I'm trying to think. I'm not even sure that. Is there still a CW network?
Yes, there is.
So, yeah.
I think Channel 50.
Riverdale.
Yeah, Riverdale's on there.
Yeah, that's the big one.
I don't know that one either, but okay.
It's a new version of Archie.
Show, Heather might know a lot of CW.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with what?
Yeah. I know that, like you said, like a bunch of people love these type of shows, but yeah, no, thank you.
Now, this last one, I did see a majority of it. Michelle showed it to me. This was live. I don't know if it's live. It was probably pre-taped.
Oh, pre-taped.
It was the Masked Singer finale. I did see that. And the last 2 people singing, I had no idea who they were.
Oh, yeah?
Jesse McCartney. Anyone know who that is?
No.
He's some kind of a pop artist, I believe.
Yeah, he was the runner-up. Who won the Masked Singer?
This is the best segment ever. Steve just screaming at the living room.
Way to do your homework.
It was a girl from the
Oh my God! I'll just look it up.
It was a girl from the Housewives. I don't know her name. She was a female girl.
A female girl. BB, look up the female girl from the Housewives.
I didn't think she was that good of a singer. I don't know.
Heather and Lorna bailed on The Masked Singer.
They did?
So, yeah, they stopped watching it.
Well, they got E-level celebrities, so I don't know how they couldn't. At this point, it might be Z-level. I don't even know what these celebrities so that's who won it. Bill, did you find
so apparently the winner was someone who was. Do you remember the group Escape from the '90s R&B group?
I think so. Yeah.
Andy Perez won it.
Candy Burris. There we go.
Yeah, her name's Candy Burris. Yeah, she's also known for writing hit songs like Destiny Child's Bills, 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 and TLC's No Scrubs.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you right, if I showed you a picture of her, neither one of you know who the hell she is. And that's
Don't need to show me a picture. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, we both know.
Yeah, I know the group Escape. I wouldn't have known any of the people from that group.
So the Masked Singer is running out of celebrities quickly, apparently.
Yeah.
I know Tony Hawk.
I love when they guess and they're like, they name these like A-list celebrities. You're like, that's Oprah. Yeah, it is. But
Tom Cruise.
yeah, it's like a B-tier housewife.
Yeah, so the Masked Singer. So those were the big TV events this week that were still kind of live or just debuting. So Charles, tell us about getting punched in the face.
Yeah, so in the pugilism and stuff, so they still got a May 30th fight night scheduled, and it's a pretty good fight. You got Tyrone Woodley going to fight Gilbert Burns, which is a good fight, but they got to wait for Nevada apparently to vote on it, whether or not they'll open them up to. They want to basically have this event at the UFC Center, the one that you should have went to and never did. They they vote to find out, and if not, apparently their plan B is Arizona. So that seems to be their plans going forward. I thought that was kind of interesting that they're going to.
Did Arizona? Not to interrupt you. Did Arizona ever lock down?
I'm not sure.
I don't think they did.
Yeah,
I don't think Utah and them didn't lock down. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's because if you remember when we discussed kind of how these sports are going to do it going forward, Arizona came up for the baseball stuff. So they definitely are a little looser on their guidelines, I'd argue. So, and then the other thing I thought was funny going forward here, Conor McGregor tweeted out his GOAT list, or his greatest of all-time fighters, and I just think Conor McGregor is so crazy. So Anderson Silva, people love that guy. He fought in multiple weight classes, crazy. Everyone knows who Anderson. He voted himself number 2, but he said, by the end of my career, I will be number 1. Multiple divisions, finish. I'm just like, it's Conor McGregor, man. You gotta love this.
So humble.
He can shit talk with the best of them, man. It's the next level. He put GSP or George St. Pierre. Yeah, he went at like he only was in like one division. He didn't really bounce around, left too early. He had like a whole lot of legit like reasons that he put all this shit going after these people. It's funny. And they put John Jones as number 4, talking about no title defenses and all this kind of shit. It's funny to see he left Matt Hughes off, which I think anyone would argue people love Matt Hughes. Like pound for pound, I think a lot of people, as all three of us would agree in this digital room. And then no Khabib. He's still undefeated. Like, no one really has ever beat Khabib, but somehow he doesn't make the list because he beat Conor. So it's just funny to see. So I brought that up just because I thought, any other people you guys could think of that should be on the list that you are a fan of or anything?
Well, a lot of people love Chuck Liddell. I don't know if he should be on there.
But he kind of went out on his back, I think, at the end there.
Who was the other guy that was a big wrestler? In
Randy Couture, so you're probably
Couture,
yeah.
He went really old school, maybe one of the like Hoist Gracie.
Yeah, the founding Gracie guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought it was funny that he voted himself number 2.
Now, one thing I didn't put down for sports news is, did you hear what hockey? So hockey has come out with a plan. Did you guys?
Did anyone care? That's
no. Well, Gabe was telling me.
What's hockey again?
It's a 2014 tournament, is what they're going to do.
Okay. Wait a second. I'm into tournaments. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm back in.
Choose what 24 teams?
Based on the seeding at the end of the season. When the season ended.
Oh. Okay.
So they're gonna have a big old tournament. I don't know the details of where or when, but that's supposed to.
That might actually make some juice in hockey. People would actually be into hockey for a few months there.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate Stanley Cup playoff right there, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one. Basketball is wanting to start up in Disneyland, Disneyland Resorts. I guess Disneyland has a giant basketball facility and softball facilities and stuff that they do for local high schools and stuff. So all the hotels and all the basketball facilities
will house them basically. Yeah,
we'll house them all.
So I thought that was Disney World though in Orlando.
Well, that's what I meant. I always get those confused.
Yeah.
Sorry, technical.
But I get you. That'd be kind of. I'm down with a huge mega tournament. I don't give a shit. One of these pro sports need to break out the mega tournament. That's all I'm asking for.
And open the sports books at the same time, right?
Yeah. So let's get crazy with it.
And baseball is still far apart from the last I heard. So we'll find out.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to some news and reviews. the first news bit is, and it kind of leads into another one too. Apple, not a lot of people are watching Apple TV, right? They want more people. They just don't have a lot of content. So now they're deciding to buy.
How much is it a month? $6?
Somewhere in there, yeah. And then you get it. You know what? Holly got that MacBook Pro and didn't get free Apple TV. She got free Apple Music for 3 months. Well, she'll probably use music more than that. But, yeah, so they finally realized they need to do what Netflix did originally and what the HBO Max is doing. They need to go out and buy some old TV shows and some old movies to fill out their library because nobody's watching Apple TV. They tried to get the big celebrities in on their own shows, and it seems like people didn't care. So that's going to lead me into one
I just
of the
think
other...
we're reaching saturation. I really do.
Yeah.
We're at World of Warcraft time where everyone wants a subscription.
Yep.
And they refuse to admit that it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like I can't subscribe to 78 different services. You know what I mean? Like at some point.
Well, especially Apple TV because there's only like 6 TV series on there,
Yeah.
and all of them only about 8 episodes.
For real.
So what am I paying for if once you watch them that 1 month? So that leads me to another news thing. Tom Hanks had a World War II movie coming out.
It looked great.
Called Great. Looked great.
Yeah.
They sold it to Apple TV. I don't know if you heard about this.
I'll sign up for a week to watch it.
Yeah,
and then I'll
that's what I was
probably
thinking.
quit that.
The 3 of us will get a free pass, watch the movie, and then cancel. It looks great. I'm hoping, but they haven't released a date. Like, they were supposed to come out this summer, so I don't know when Apple TV plans on putting it out there, but that's kind of a bummer there. Now, also, coming back in Netflix, and this is Michelle and I like this one. It's called Umbrella Academy. This is a kind of unique take on X-Men type deal.
Yeah, it was pretty popular with people. Isn't it an Image thing? Isn't Image Umbrella Academy?
Yeah. It's not Marvel or DC. This is kind of like off to the side. Quirky characters. I liked it a lot the first season, so they're coming back season 2 in July. I'm surprised. I thought it'd get delayed because of the COVID, but they must have did it already. Now in the news, Bill, did you love the movie Scream in the 90s? Did you love Courtney Cox and David Arquette in Scream?
No.
And Naomi Campbell.
I remember he would never shut up about it. He just talked about Scream.
Don't you mean Nev Campbell?
Naomi Campbell.
Naomi Campbell.
No, I didn't really like that movie at all, to be honest.
I know you and Bert talked about it for hours back in the 90s.
Exactly. I remember those conversations.
Good news for you, Bill. They're making another Scream, because I think there was already 5. This is going to be Scream 6. And David Arquette has already signed on to play the sheriff again.
It's weird because he's got so much stuff going on. I'm surprised he's willing to come down to that. You know what I mean?
Now, the question is Courtney Cox and Nev Campbell come back? I don't know.
Well, Nev Campbell had cancer, right? She was in real tough shape, physically and stuff like that. I remember that at one point.
Yeah, so I don't know. They're back. Scream's back. I could care less. And Bill is very excited for it, but nobody else is. So there you go. Now, also this
barely
week,
contain myself.
look at the excitement all over his face right now for Scream 6. This week I did catch you guys. What'd you say?
You just got my nipples hard.
I know. You guys did talk about Patton Oswalt. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, as a Skype guest, which is weird to see on there. They usually doesn't do that too often. He likes in studio stuff.
Yeah, and he tests them when they come in too.
Crazy.
So in Joe Rogan land, he signed an exclusive contract with Spotify. So this fall, starting in September, he will be off YouTube, and the only place you can catch his podcast is on Spotify. Charles, tell him how much money he's...
So this exclusivity deal is $100 million, dude. That's just like, holy crap. So he already had... And again, I tend to love his show. It's a great podcast and stuff like that. And I like his view a lot. I like a lot of the world stuff and stuff like that. He already had like an exclusivity deal with Sirius. Sirius was replaying the Joe Rogan Experience on Sirius. I don't know.
It must be expiring.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, there's a lot of questions going forward because YouTube will still have the clip shows or the clips, but they're not able to give you the full video show. Spotify is going to be your only place to get it. Problem I see is you're going to see commercials, man. Like, you got to pay for Joe Rogan, you know what I mean? Like, so the way that they're going to pay for him is going to have a bunch of unskippable. Gabe was on here the one time talking about the Spotify platform. I'm kind of naive to it. I know that, Steve, you got us submitted onto Spotify, and we show up on there. But I don't consume my podcast through Spotify. So it's going to be – I will definitely seek it out I like that show that much that I will figure out Spotify's podcasts to kind of be able to listen to that show still. But like, I don't know. It's interesting. I'll tell you that. I don't know if you guys have opinions.
My daughter loves Spotify, and as a matter of fact, going into this, her account was hacked this week.
Oh.
Someone broke into her.
That sucks.
So we had to change passwords, remove credit card information, all that good stuff.
So does she subscribe for like the premium level or something
yes,
like that? Oh, okay.
Yes, $10 a month. Yeah, she gets that. It's the one thing she loves. I pay for that for her because I'm a sucker.
I'm going to give Spotify a try because they've got an email a couple days ago. They're doing a promotion with 3 free months for the premium.
Okay. So yeah, definitely gotta check it out. They also have a lot of the Bill Simmons content on there, and I like Bill Simmons. Bill Simmons is a very good, in sports centric land. Bill Simmons is very good stuff too. I liked his HBO show that was very short lived that they came out with and stuff like that. So big thumbs up. And I'll tell you, if me and BV are any indication, it's going to drive people to Spotify. Now, did you guys also see that Some Good News thing that John Krasinski started doing on YouTube? He sold it to CBS Viacom. People were pissed. I was like, whoa.
Why are they pissed about it?
Because it was supposed to be just like a good feeling thing, and like now he's monetizing it and shit. People went at him, dude. That's crazy. Because that stuff's super good on YouTube. That's Some Good News stuff on YouTube, man. Good on him. Like, he did a good job with all that and like just kind of like being positive during all this drama and all this shit. It was really good. And for him to get a payday for it, I ain't mad at him. Go make your money, you know what I mean? But people were pissed. God, people were pissed.
Big rumor, when Marvel comes out with their new Fantastic Four movie, he's going to be Mr. Fantastic.
I like John Krasinski. I'm a big fan.
Will that drive Charles to see his first comic book movie in years?
Can you literally tie everything to an animated movie?
No, that's a live action.
That's a live action. Because Marvel can't get Fantastic Four right. They've rebooted it 74 times.
Well, it wasn't Marvel. Fox owned the rights.
Well, here we go. I'm sorry to flick on I love it. It's so good.
Speaking of which, did anyone see Justice League here?
No.
So behind the scenes, Justice League had a bunch of turmoil behind it. Zack Snyder left, and then Josh Whedon came in and finished the movie, blah, 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 blah. So it came out. The movie kind of dud. It didn't do as well as they anticipated. And ever since then...
Let me stop you for a second, Steve. Do you feel that this movie suffered from its change at the helm and all that kind of stuff? Or what is the Steve opinion before you go on?
Yeah, I think so. I think it should have stuck to the original thing because they butchered it a lot to make it look like a family-friendly kind of Marvel Avengers movie when it just didn't
have that tone or whatever, or it shouldn't have had that tone.
I mean, it was a serviceable movie, but it just was kind of eh. Now, Zack Snyder, though, now everyone kind of gets blinders on. He made Batman vs Superman, and that was 3 hours of boredom. So,
okay.
But it was very dark and very edgy. So we got to have your Batman edgy, and so they're going to release a Snyder's cut next year in 2021. He's going to take all the footage he had. Allegedly, Batman's supposed to die in it. Superman comes back from the dead, and he's supposed to be like a prick and killing people. So we'll find out what happens, and so people will finally get to see their Snyder cut. I'll be on.
Does that? I was going to say, does that intrigue you? I guess would be my question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if I have HBO Max for free, which I think we're supposed to, if you subscribe to HBO, I will watch it. Yes. This is the nerd version of The Last Dance. So they're supposed to. They might stretch it out to 4 parts, or they might just put it all in one big movie. They don't know yet, so that's gonna. So finally, in some anniversaries besides Trish turning 42, there are some other things that turned 40 this week and 30 years old to make us all feel old. Pac-Man, the original video game, is 40 years old this week. I'll be honest, we were only 5 years old when this came out in 1980, so I don't think any of us were. Well, Charles was even younger,
so
he was just a baby. So I don't think any of us fell in love with Pac-Man.
Let me tell you, as someone who has that mini cabinet for Pac-Man, that game is hard as hell. Just so we're all on the same page. God, that game is so hard.
You get about 3 boards in, then you just get smoked.
When I was a little kid, I had I got an Atari computer. They tried making like these little PCs, and it had Pac-Man was part of the package it came with. I used to play it constantly.
How many stages?
It's a surprisingly tough game,
dude. It's brutal.
And how far would you get? 3 stages, 4 stages?
I got to the point where I could get like I don't know, 10, 12 stages.
Oh, Jesus,
that's impressive.
But that was I still play it every once in a while on like a flash, on online, just using the arrow keys on the keyboard.
Wow.
Yeah. And I can only get about 3 stages.
That's brutal, man. That game is hard as hell, dude. I don't know. I lost some Twitch control or something. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I can't play that game for shit.
Yeah. Now, also, Bill won't care about this one, but many consider this the best Star Wars movie ever made. Turned 40 years old this year. Empire Strikes Back turned 40 years old. The biggest cliffhanger ever. Luke, I am your father. And then you also find out he's been making out with his sister.
Creepy. Yeah.
Yeah. So Empire Strikes Back, 40 years old this week. Now, this next one, Mr. Henson will love because he plays this game all the time till this day.
Wow.
Windows Solitaire turned 30 years old this week.
How many
as well.
hours are wasted on Windows Solitaire since that came out, dude?
Oh, yeah.
Billions of hours of just wasted productivity playing Solitaire.
Yeah, slow time at work, turn on the Solitaire. Yeah. Dude, Solitaire's hard. Anyone ever like consistently beat Solitaire, or am I just that shitty?
I'm not a card guy, BV.
If you do it the way the proper way to play the game, I understand, is that when you flip the card, it's supposed to be 3 cards every time you do it. Mm-hmm. And if you do that, it's impossible to win all the time.
Yeah.
If you flip 1 card at a time, like some versions do, then you can win pretty much all the time if you're not stupid.
If you're not stupid. Bill's insinuating, I'm stupid. No, I'm just kidding. I play the one with the 3 cards flipping, and I get to a point where it's like, I can't do it.
They say every game's winnable. That's not true. I have literally played some. I've played some solitaire games where you have the board in front of you, and when you start flipping through the cards, you go through that entire sequence where no cards play, and you never even get to start playing the game, and you've already lost.
Jeez.
So, Charles, that's going to wrap us up for the news. Did you do any new board games this week? Or I heard you were a master at something weird.
What's that?
Skippo or something?
Oh, Skip It? Yeah, so...
Oh, is that thing where there's that...
You put it around your ankle. Yeah, dude. And so the other... Again, we're just locked in the house. We're all going insane over here. I don't know how else to explain it. It's been a bad week of just like, I'm just over it, and I need life to kind of get back to normal, I think. So I bought, so Lorna bought some jump ropes. So I went on, and again, I'm still struggling to get any kind of workout equipment because, again, the world is chiseling. Gabe is 100% right. You can't buy weights right now. It's really kooky. And I went on, and I bought some weighted jump ropes that are 1 pound and 2 pounds. They're by this company called Cross Ropes. They're way too expensive for what they are. But let me tell you something, Steve. If you want to have a coronary heart attack in about 30 seconds, holy shit, dude. Do some jump rope with a weighted jump rope. I am now the jump rope champion in the house. I got around, I think it's 78 times that I got around, in sequence, 78 times. Steve, I almost died.
How long did they give you CPR?
Dude, it is one of the most brutal things you'll ever do. Who knew that, the basic ass just jump rope can whoop your ass like you wouldn't believe. And
there's a reason Rocky did it.
Dude, it is crazy. And the 2 pound rope, the thing that's nice about it, and maybe next week I'll bring them on just so you guys can see them, they're like thick cables. The nice part about the 2 pound rope is I have a tendency to go too fast. I don't know how to explain it. It's not because I'm just a superior athlete, but I just can't pace myself. The 2 pound rope slows me down so that I can actually kind of keep rhythm to it, and then I can go longer. But with that thing being 2 pounds, dude, I want to just die. There's no other way around it. Weighted jump ropes. But then we got to skip it too. We do that for a minute and see how, dude, I did that 74 times in a minute. Holy shit, that's another one. This is brutal.
How bad were your calves burning?
Dude, you hurt in parts of your hips that you didn't think you ever moved and stuff. It's cool, but we just try to keep Lorna active because there's no gymnastics. There's a lot of in-home school stuff, so we're just trying to keep her moving. I'm sure you're doing the same thing with Holly. BV's
She's
getting after
right
it,
now,
I'm sure, you know what I mean? He's a physical specimen as it is, but I'm sure you're just trying to stay moving, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's difficult, man. It's one of those things where we're just trying to, I don't want Lorna to to lose her love. Like she loves her gymnastics stuff, and so we're just trying to keep that going. You know what I mean? Like I'm all for. I want to have a smart kid, but at the same time too, I want to have a kid that can run around the block and not die. You know what I mean? Like I want her to be the best of both worlds. So it's fun.
Funny you say that. So last week, I forget whatever the day was, Wednesday or Thursday when it was nice weather, Holly and I went to play tennis. And first off, the tennis courts are packed.
Oh, are
People
they?
everywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. So we went over by the one by Robichaud. Bill might know it. It's over on Notre Dame Street by Robichaud. It has 5 courts there.
Oh, okay.
One court was empty, so we went in there.
And
These two young
You're
guys,
saying out of the 5 courts, only 1 court was empty?
Yeah.
Wow. Tennis
that's
is having
the
a
one
renaissance, man. That's cool.
That's where me and Holly took that court. We're like, hurry, go.
Yeah, wow. That's
These
crazy.
2 young guys are on the court next to us. Probably 25, 30 years old. Man, they were smoking it. And just, I was like,
You were like,
Holly,
whoa.
you just want to put bags on our heads.
Yeah,
Like, they
wow.
were terrible to watch us.
Yeah.
You know, we were feeling bad, trying not to hit the ball over towards them. We're like trying to keep it away. So, yeah, we're getting a little exercise here and there, a little bit of tennis.
You got to stay moving, man. I don't know. It's hard to, but it's really hard right now. I don't know how. I'm not one of these people that's like pining for the gym. There's some people that are like whining so bad, but like, you know.
Gabe is dying.
Yeah, he's got all that stuff at his dad's house he was mentioning, and I'm sure he's using it like crazy, but it's just I think that this lockdown has shown me there's like a lot of weird things that you do take for granted. You know what I mean? Like just weird little things where you're like you didn't realize you'd kind of miss them. You know, it's really that's one of the.
I never
odd
realized
things.
I missed racquetball.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like
Any other time, you're like, I guess I'll go. I'm not really feeling it, but I'll go.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah, but in the back of your
like,
head right now, you're like, man, I killed for some little racquetball right now. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
But the funny thing about the tennis was, so I was running and getting it, and Holly laughs at me every time I run. But I would hit it. She started off running. And after about 10 minutes, she was done running. Yeah. She was almost like, you got that dog and you walk it and just like, I'm done walking. Yeah. Holly's like, I'm just serving. I'm not running. She's like, so she's getting back in shape too. So, all right, that's going to do us for this week, episode 98, the Memorial Day lockdown. Thank Bill as always, and then of course Charles and I, and we're going to be live. Well, not live, but you can get us on Spotify, like we talked about earlier, Google Play, Apple iTunes, all the places you can get podcasts, and. Anything else you guys want to add?
You got any plugs? You got any events you're doing?
Did you plug anything?
Not this time.
Oh,
and if Spotify wants to pay us to be exclusive to Spotify, we'll do it for $20.
Dude, that's even steeper than I was going to say 15, but okay.
Right.
Steve's going to set the bar.
Until next week, this is Steve and
Charles.
Check you later.